Building a financially comfortable life can appear to be a hard endeavor that demands the expertise of a professional mapmaker and GPS programmer. You must determine where you are now and where you want to go. As if that wasn't enough, you're now in charge of determining the best route from here to there without taking any unnecessary diversions. Take a deep breath in and out, allow your shoulders to relax because we're giving you budgeting 101 in just 7 easy simple steps that are all attainable. Some objectives will take years if not decades to achieve. That was part of the idea all along. But there's an instant payoff. You'll feel a lot less stressed the moment you start taking control of all the money issues that have been bothering you. According to a 2019 survey, 9 in 10 adults say nothing makes them happier or more confident than having their finances in order. This video is your ticket to joining in. This video will lay out 7 key steps to focus on getting you working toward long-term financial security. Follow along from start to finish if you want to learn more. Number 1. Short-term and long-term goals. Building financial stability is a never-ending balancing act. Some of the money goals you have in the air will be targets you want to achieve as soon as possible. Other goals may have an end date that is a decade or more away, but they must be started sooner rather than later. A good initial step is to make a comprehensive list of all your objectives. It's usually easier to plan a course of action when you know exactly what you want to accomplish. It's entirely up to you whether you keep track of your short and long-term objectives on a spreadsheet or on paper. Just make sure you give yourself some alone time to consider it. Here's a simple question. What would make you feel fantastic financially? At its core, a financial plan provides the resources to make you feel safe and secure, allowing you to focus on living rather than worrying. Number 2. Creating a budget. This isn't exactly a fascinating subject. However, making a budget is the one step that allows you to achieve all your other financial goals. A budget is a line-by-line accounting of all your revenue, salary, possibly a side job, possibly investment money, and all of your expenses. The whole point of a budget is to lay everything out in front of you so you can see where your money is going and make adjustments if you're not on track to accomplish your objectives. As a beginner, one way to analyze your current cash flow is to run it through the popular 50-20-30 budgeting framework. The idea with this strategy is to spend 50% of your after-tax income on necessities. This includes rent or mortgage, food, and auto payments. 30% on additional necessities like phone and streaming services or likes and wants. The remaining 20% should be set aside for savings, accumulating emergency finances, putting money aside for retirement, and putting money aside for a down payment on a house or a new automobile. Another framework includes the 60% solution, which also divides spending and saving, but with different percentages. Number 3. Building an emergency fund. No one probably needs convincing that having some money set aside for life's never-ending stream of financial curveball is a lifesaver. I mean, a pandemic can happen, or when you get your knee strained, or if you have to replace your car, which is perhaps the ultimate money stress reliever. But creating an emergency fund isn't as easy as you thought. Take it from a survey by Bankrate.com that found that 60% of people say that they don't have enough money to cover a $1,000 emergency bill. Unfortunately, that isn't even enough. Bankrate said that among survey participants who had an emergency in 2019, the average tab was $3,500. Can't see being able to pull that off? Stop concentrating on the larger picture. The key is to set up an automated mechanism that automatically adds money to your emergency fund each month. The simplest method to do this is to open a separate savings account at a bank or credit union for your emergency fund. Number 4. Pay off costly credit and card debt. While banks commonly pay depositors less than 1% interest on saving accounts these days, the average interest rate charged credit card users with an unpaid debt is approaching 17%. If you have a good credit score, you should see if you qualify for a balance transfer to a new card that will waive interest payments for a set amount of time. For a year or more, you won't have to pay any interest, giving you plenty of time to make a significant dent in your debt repayment without having to worry about interest piling up. If that doesn't work, then some of the 2 popular get-out-of-debt strategies is the avalanche method and the snowball strategy. The avalanche method is done by paying the minimum due each month on all your credit cards and then adding more money to the card, changing the highest interest rate. When your highest interest rate card's balance is completely off, you transfer the extra payments to the next highest interest rate card. Rinse and repeat as needed. On the other hand, if you use the snowball technique, you'll send your extra monthly payments to the card with the least outstanding balance. The attractiveness of this strategy is that it delivers a lovely bit of psychological mojo. Focusing on the card with the smallest balance will help you pay it off faster. Number 5. Saving for retirement. Even if you have decades to go until retirement, the time to get started saving was yesterday. The longer you wait to get serious about this big honking goal, the more you will need to contribute to land in retirement in good shape. There's no one rule for how much you'll need to save for retirement, but a solid guideline is to have a multiple of your salary set aside at different ages. As you can see below, having retirement account balance equal to 2 times your salary by age 35 sets you up for success. When you're 50, the aim is to have 6 times your salary in your retirement account, and by your late 60s, having 10 times your salary saved up is recommended. Using special accounts that provide considerable tax breaks is the greatest method to save for retirement. Many employers offer retirement accounts such as 401k and 403b plans, to which you can contribute. The former is offered by private employers, while the latter is offered by organizations and the government. And anyone with a source of income can put their money into their own individual retirement account or IR. Number 6. Investing for retirement with a long-term focus. The amount of money you save for retirement is the most important factor in determining how comfortable you'll be when it's time to stop working. However, how you invest the money in your retirement account is crucial. Saving for retirement is broken down into how much you want to put into stocks against how much you want to put into bonds. Stocks can be volatile at times, but they have traditionally given larger returns than bonds over extended periods of time, which is 10 years or more. Bonds, on the other hand, are more laid back. They don't plummet like equities in bad times. In contrast, when stocks plummet, they usually soar. They don't, however, gain as much as stocks. Inflation is a hidden risk to consider when deciding on your stock and bond combination. That's the vexing fact that things get more expensive with time. Number 7. Borrowing wisely. Taking out a loan for a large-ticket item is common. The home you wish to purchase, the automobiles you drive, assisting your children in paying for college. The secret to financial stability is to borrow just what you truly require. And that can be problematic because lenders are only interested in informing you how much you can borrow, whether you're trying to buy a house, a car, or a college degree. No one is going to look you in the eyes and tell you to cut back on your borrowing. Lenders have no idea and have no interest in how the loan they're dangling in front of you affects your capacity to achieve all of your other objectives. That is entirely your fault. To achieve your aim, your goal should always be to borrow as little as possible. You'll have money for other things if you borrow less. Do you require a vehicle? Okay, but do you really need a new car with all the bells and whistles? Is it possible that a less expensive model may assist your financial situation? Buying a 3-year-old used car means you're letting someone else pay for the 40% and 50% depreciation that occurs in the first few years after purchasing a new car. Managing your money is an ongoing process. It helps to schedule regular times throughout the year to evaluate your financial situation, including your income, spending, savings, and net worth. Everyone can benefit from taking a pronounced and proactive approach to control their finances. Committing to your budget will help guide you into a much better financial position. And I hope this video helped you start taking the first step. That's all for today, guys. See you next time.